Hey Hoopheads, Brad here with another breakdown of the Raptors championship run, and today I want to talk about the Raptors 98-93 win over the Magic in Game 3 of the first round. Kawhi had a rough game in this one, going just 5 for 19 with 16 turnovers, but the Raptors were able to pull it out thanks to 30 points and 11 boards from Siakam. Gasol had 4 steals and some incredible D. I'm going to talk a fair bit about that. And before we get started, I just want to mention the Too Much Hoops Patreon is now live, where you can get access to exclusive written and audio content. Please check it out. There's a link in the description and the comments. Let's get into it. Gasol's primary matchup was against Nikola Vucevic, and Vucevic scored 22 points in this game, but he only got 1 basket the entire time that Gasol was on the floor. On this play, as Fournier comes off the Vucevic screen, check out how Gasol angles his body. He's trying to shade Fournier towards the help, and if Fournier tries to drive into this gap, Pascal is going to step up and cut off the basket. Instead, he throws it out to Vucevic, who tries to go up, but Gasol is able to poke the ball away, almost a turnover. And now as Fournier recovers and picks up his dribble, Lowry's going to step up towards him, and then Fournier hits him with the elbow in the chops. Lowry selling the contact a little bit as always, but definitely an offensive foul. And on this one, as Aaron Gordon comes off the Vucevic screen, check out Gasol's positioning. He's sagged down and he's just trying to prevent Gordon from getting to the rim, invites him to take the mid-range jumper, and if the Magic want a steady diet of that, the Raptors will give it to them. And on this one, as Augustine comes off the screen, check out Gasol's positioning again. He's trying to play equally distant between Augustine and Vucevic so that neither one can get to the rim. And Augustine's looking for an opening to pass to Vucevic, and as he's occupied with that, Kawhi sneaks over from the corner and is able to take the ball away. Great defense there by Gasol and Kawhi. And now in transition, DJ Augustine is going to get a step on Danny Green. And as he drives, you can see there's an open path to the rim, and Gasol starts sliding that way, but as he does, he extends his arm back in the opposite direction and is able to deflect the pass to Vucevic. Nice active hands there to force the turnover. And here Vucevic trying to post up Gasol, and Gasol's just a little bit too big for him, and he's able to reach around and poke that ball away from behind. Vuce really has no advantages over Gasol. And here you see Aaron Gordon driving into the lane, and Marc Gasol takes it right in the chest. That's going to be an offensive foul. He read that thing the whole way and barely had to move to take the charge. And now the Magic are going to run Fournier off the Vucevic screen, and at the same time they're going to run Jonathan Isaac up to set another screen for Fournier. The Raptors switch the second one, and Siakam does a nice job of containing Fournier on the drive, gets his hands up and vertical so he doesn't foul on the shot attempt. Great footwork by Siakam there to stay in front of Fournier and avoid the foul. And now Lowry and Siakam switch that same screen again, and now Siakam's on Fournier, and as Fournier gets the ball, check out how far Siakam steps up, and that helps him get over the Vucevic screen. Then Vucevic flips the screen, and that forces Gasol and Siakam to switch. Good work by Siakam to get into defensive position on Vuce, and as the ball goes to Isaac in the corner, Lowry pressures up and is able to poke the ball away out of bounds. And now in transition, Kawhi's not back yet, so as his man comes up the floor, Vuce is going to be looking for him on the pass, but check out how Gasol gets his hands up and active while Lowry switches on to Isaac. And then as Wes Iwundu comes off the Vuce screen, you see Lowry in help position in the paint, and then he has the aggressive closeout to the corner to Jonathan Isaac. He misses the shot. Nice awareness by Gasol and Lowry in transition. And now off the inbound, Terrence Ross makes a nice cut to lose Van Vliet, and that means Lowry has to step up to him, leaving Michael Carter-Williams open in the corner, and as he attacks, watch Kawhi come across the lane and get up for the challenge. Great help defense there. And on this play, you see how nice it is to have Siakam's versatility. He starts out on Jonathan Isaac and then quickly switches on to Michael Carter-Williams. And then Vucevic sets the screen and the Raptors switch that too. And now he's able to play post defense on Vucevic down low, gets his hands in there and is able to poke the ball away and force the turnover. And on this play, the Magic have Terrence Ross catch the ball pretty high up, and Kem Birch is right there to set the screen. And what the Magic are hoping is that Serge stays down by the free throw line so Ross can come off this screen and pop the three. But Serge does a nice job of stepping up while Lowry slides into help position in the key. And as MCW gets the ball, Lowry stays sagged off him, inviting the mid-range shot. He's not a great shooter. Nice D by the Raptors to force some low efficiency offense. And now off the inbound, check out how Norm pressures up onto Fournier, forcing the Magic to slow down a little bit, and then Siakam switches onto Fournier, and probably should have got called for a kick ball here, but nice work to force the turnover. Fred VanVleet, the first one diving to the floor for the loose ball, not a surprise there. And now as Aaron Gordon brings the ball up, watch Danny Green sagging down to the free throw line in help position, and as Kawhi gets back on D, you see him bypass MCW and go over to Terrence Ross, and that's one of the perils of having a non-shooter like MCW on the floor. The defense can pretty much just ignore him. And now off the inbound, Terrence Ross is going to curl around the Vucevic screen, and as he gets the ball and drives, Vuce is going to pop out to the opposite elbow for a three, and check out the way Gasol slides down and then gets his hands way up. He deflects that pass, and then Kawhi is able to scoop it up and take it down to the other end, where he just discards Wes Iwundu and puts it up and in. Great work by Gasol to create those transition points with his defense. And on this play, just watch Marc Gasol as he chases Vucevic around the court, always keeping good position between him and the basket, dodging a screen, and then fighting with him for post position as Vuce gets called for the offensive foul for the elbow to the face. Vuce may be getting a little frustrated with Gasol's physicality and his lack of success against him. And on this play, as DJ Augustin comes off the Vucevic screen, you see Gasol slide over to contain him until Green can get back into the play. And then at the same time, Fournier is going to come down and set a screen on Siakam to let Terrence Ross go up to the top of the arc. Gasol is the closest defender. Ross is a good shooter, so he rushes out at him, runs him off the three-point line, and then Siakam rotates down from the free throw line and gets up to challenge the shot on the back line of the defense. Great help defense from everyone involved there. And here, as Augustin comes off the Vucevic screen, you can see there's a path to the basket if he can just get around Gasol, but Gasol does a great job of moving his feet and cutting it off, and at the same time, Lowry stunts over towards him, gets all the way to the middle of the key, and then watch this close out to Evan Fournier. He goes out at a dead sprint, stops on a dime, turns his body, and retreats as Danny Green steps up to cut off the drive. Lowry seamlessly switches out onto Augustin, and the Magic have kind of hit a dead end, and they end up settling for an Evan Fournier contested three-pointer from the corner. And now in transition, the Raptors zone up with Danny Green in the middle, and as Augustin comes off the screen, check out how Green and Siakam both slide over towards the ball side. That cuts off the drive, and then meanwhile you can see Kawhi kind of guarding two guys out here on the perimeter. The pass goes to Isaac, so Kawhi goes that way, and if Isaac swings it to Ross right away, that's an open three, but he puts it on the deck for one dribble, and that allows Danny Green to get out for a great shot contest on Terrence Ross. And the Raptors are really good at forcing opposing teams into rush decisions like that. And now as Augustin runs off the double screen, Gasol with another bit of containment, moving his feet to let Danny Green get back into the play. Then the Magic work it around the perimeter a little bit to the other side, where Aaron Gordon's going to come off a Vucevic screen, and Gasol moving his feet again, and Aaron Gordon spins back into the lane. Gasol with the great hands to get the strip and force the turnover. The Magic just completely unable to attack Gasol off the dribble. And now a turnover off the bad pass, but you see Lowry get back on defense, and as he jumps, he gets his hands up, gets nice and vertical, just meets the offensive player with his chest, and Danny Green comes in from behind to swat the shot. Great teamwork from Lowry and Green to shut down that fast break. And as the game went along, a problem that became apparent was the Raptors fouling. The Magic ended up shooting more than twice the number of free throws that the Raptors did in this game because the Raptors were playing such aggressive defense. And early in the third quarter, Gasol picked up his third foul, and as soon as he went off the floor, the game changed. Vucevic was able to get 4 buckets in the span of about 3 minutes after not having scored a single basket against Gasol all game. That allowed the Magic to finally close the gap on the Raptors and take the lead on the Vucevic three-pointer. But the Raptors would lock back in and start treating Vucevic like more of a threat, forcing the ball into other players' hands. On this play, DJ Augustin rejects the screen, goes behind the back, and now look at the open lane he has to the basket, but watch how the Raptors just shut it down and force him to pass it. The ball goes out to Wes Iwundu in the corner, and Siakam with the nice closeout under control so that he's able to stay with him on the drive. Iwundu tries to put it up, but Siakam is there for the block. Great defense. And on this play, as Wes Iwundu gets the ball in the corner and drives, Vucevic is going to try to seal off Serge, and watch Serge just push him in the back, get him out of the way so he can get up and contest this shot. Forces the miss, maybe should have been a foul, but the refs didn't see it. Great work. And now in the fourth quarter, Terrence Ross is going to run off the double screen, but watch Serge drop down to help cut off the pass. And then Ross runs back up off the Vucevic screen, but Lowry gets right up to his body to cut off that passing angle. And now the Magic have killed a lot of time with the ball in MCW's hands, and by the time Fournier gets it, there's not much time to create anything, and the Magic end up settling for a Jonathan Isaac contested pull-up mid-ranger. And this is just a nice bit of anticipation by Norm and a bad read by MCW, able to jump that passing lane and then track it down. Good work to avoid the screen and get a hand on it. And here, as Pascal Siakam helps into the paint, he essentially leaves Kyle Lowry guarding two guys. They're both shooters. And as the pass comes out to Fournier, check out the way Lowry stunts toward Fournier, just like a step or two, but that's enough to get Fournier to misread it and pass to the corner when he was wide open, and then the ball goes back to him, but by that time Siakam's had enough time to get out and contest the shot. He's not able to get it to fall. And over the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, the Magic were able to close the gap from a 17-point lead all the way down to a single possession game. In that stretch, the Raptors made a few mistakes defensively, but played pretty well for the most part. The Magic just played a lot better offensively than they had through the first portion of the game. On this play, you see Augustin attacking off the screen, trying to get at Gasol and force that switch. Eventually, he gets Green switched onto Vucevic and tosses him the ball in the post. Now Kawhi has to come into the key for help defense purposes. You can see Siakam's basically guarding two guys on the weak side. Aaron Gordon starts to cut along the baseline, and Siakam stunts toward him, and then as the pass goes out to Fournier, Siakam with a pretty decent closeout gets a pretty good shot contest. And now 90 seconds left, 6-point game. Watch Siakam's defense as Fournier goes over the screen, stays glued to him, and that allows Gasol to just stay with Vucevic so that he's ready when Aaron Gordon comes off that same handoff. The pass goes to Augustin in the corner, who tries to drive on Green, but Green does a pretty good job to stay with him, and then the great hands to get this strip on Vucevic in the paint. Takes a swipe at it with both hands, great coordination. On the next trip down the court, Kawhi would lose Terrence Ross on the screen. He hits the three and makes it a one-possession game, but the Raptors would win this one at the offensive end as Kawhi misses the shot, but there's Kyle Lowry to track down the offensive board. Great touch pass to Danny Green. The Magic have to foul Kawhi. He drains both the free throws. That's going to be the ball game. The Raptors win 98-93 to take a 2-1 series lead. And once again, I'm going to remind you to please check out the Patreon. The link is in the video description and the comments. You can get access to exclusive written and audio content and vote for which non-Raptors games I cover. I'd really appreciate you checking it out. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought of the Raptors defense in the comments.